There's other women that also say, well, I could be all for his wife, all this type of stuff. Listen, we are not designed in that fashion. Let me give you an example. Women say, you know what, I can be his everything. He should just be satisfied with one and just not put somebody through it because there's emotional pain and everything else attached. Let me ask you a question. Do you really think that you are in everything to a man, that you can provide everything? Has your man ever had any complaints about the amount of sexual intimacy that he may desire? Is his desire stronger than yours? Because most of the brothers I talk to, they complain they're not getting enough and they feel their women and their wives are weaponizing sex, because women, they control access to sex, but men control whether or not you're in a relationship, right? Whether or not you're married. They're the ones that propose and go talk to the pops and all of that, right? So is it getting enough? Ask yourself that. Assalamu alaikum, peace. I am Coach Nazir, one of the coaches of outstanding personal relationships and one of the authors of Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. So here's that deal. I know I'm going to press some buttons with what I'm going to share with you today, because I'm going to talk about sex. Ooh, sex. There's this whole idea that polygyny is simply a man, is only thinking about one thing and fulfilling his lustful desires. I mean, women love to fantasize about that whole part. Now, just for clarity and for being real, I've never come across anything else with more pleasure in it than that sexual intimacy with your spouse. All right. You connect on multiple levels if you're doing things right. I don't know what you're doing necessarily, but I'm just saying, as a man, it has been created to be so pleasurable, extremely pleasurable, that could be the downfall of many in and of itself. With that being said, though, are we just dumb, retarded, foolish idiots walking around trying to satisfy our lustful desire, especially when it comes to polygyny? So are we? Are we just stuck there? Is that what polygyny is all about? Because the reality is, we live in a society that sex is easy to come by. All right? You just need to have the right amount of money, for example, for some people. All right? It's not the most moral option, but I guarantee you that when you look into monogamous marriages, the marriages that's pushed as the norm, the level of infidelity is relatively high. It's not some, oh, I'm in monogamy, I'm good, that's it. All right? So I'm dealing with reality here. But I want to share with you, though, since you think it's just a big lustful thing, well, polygyny has a whole bunch of responsibility that comes to it. Now, I'm known as the coach that helps people get their shift together, right? So I'm the coach that lets people know that, yeah, you should strive to qualify to be able to practice polygyny in a healthy fashion, even if that's not your goal, bruh. And the reason I suggest that is for what it will make of you, what it will make of you emotionally, what it will require of you financially, how it will stretch you mentally to be able to be a leader, all right, to really be intentional and in alignment with your values and developing these values and growing. So what it will make of you, I would absolutely suggest you strive to practice polygyny. And why polygyny in particular? Well, one of the things that we love more than anything else we're designed and created with is a desire for women. That is what it is. And for the women who think that, oh, it's just for their lustful desires, and if you're married, do you think that's the only reason you got married? For something to beat up on? Huh? Were you just there to go ahead and have a warm bed? Because that's quite dismissive. And it only says, oh, and the additional wife is just for breeding purposes. All right? It's very dismissive of a person's connection, their love, their desire for intimacy, and all of these different types of things. It's really dismissive when you say that. And I know you're trying to do it for an excuse and everything else, but a man doesn't need an excuse. You don't need an excuse to marry again. But you do have to live up to that responsibility and accountability. So with that being said, there's other women that also say, well, I could be all for his wife, all this type of stuff. Listen, we are not designed in that fashion. Let me give you an example. Women say, you know what, I can be his everything. He should just be satisfied with one and just not put somebody through it because there's emotional pain and everything else attached. Let me ask you a question. Do you really think that you are in everything to a man, that you can provide everything? Has your man ever had any complaints about the amount of sexual intimacy that he may desire? Is his desire stronger than yours? Because most of the brothers I talk to, they complain they're not getting enough and they feel their women and their wives are weaponizing sex because women, they control access to sex, but men control whether or not you're in a relationship, right? Whether or not you're married. They're the ones that propose and go talk to the pops and all of that, right? So is it getting enough? Ask yourself that. Pardon the interruption. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that you could thrive better in the community that's more supportive? Now, I already know the answer to that. But did you know that Outstanding Personal Relationships actually has a community that is supportive and where we really hang out a lot? It has a number of areas and things like, for example, I deal with the men in the Kings and Men section where we discuss a number of different men issues, whether it's polygyny related, parenting related, whatever it may be. This is where we communicate and connect.
And as an introvert, I love the idea of an online community. So we have that. And to be able to speak with like-minded people, speak with other wives, wives, whether you're incoming wife, whether you're a first wife, you're a wife, period, in general, you only practicing monogamy, whatever the case may be, to be able to be in a community with people who understand what you're going through, understand any type of issues you have, and also being in a place where you have support from others, where it's not all over social media for everybody else to see.
Yes, and it is a safe space. So if you guys want to see us or if you want to connect with us, come to our community.
Indeed. And like they said, it's private. All right. So you don't have to worry about your stuff being all over the place or all on social media. Try to find the comments and go scroll. We have the subjects. We have all this type of stuff. Just go to outstandingpersonalrelationships.com. Look on the top of the page. Click on community. We look forward to seeing you there. Back to the video. See, it's so well known that that is not the case, that there are comedians that have whole platforms and jokes and stuff they do about that. Amazing, right? But not really. So let's say that. Let's say he wants it every single day because our reproductive cycle is every single day. We create millions and billions of sperm every single day, where a woman's reproductive cycle is once a month. So if he wants it every single day, one, you're not available for several days during the month, maybe a week or so, right? Then, of course, you have childbirth, you have pregnancy, all these different things, hormonal changes. You're not available then. See, so a woman can't be everything, even in one area of just sexually pleasing. Now, you might be saying, you know what? A man can't be everything either. And you're right. You're right. A man is not everything to a woman. Here's the crazy part, though. We have the ability, the way that we're designed, to be able to provide most of the things that our partner needs. We are covers and garments for each other. That's how it's described in the Quran. So that being the case, think about the wisdom in this. That being the case, one man can provide most of the different things that you need and want. Whether it's the security or the protection and all these different things, one man can usually provide that and one woman wants one man. I don't hear women talk about, oh, I want all these different men. And they can all provide these different things for me and so on and so forth. And usually the things are some physical things outside of intimacy. Notice the difference there? But as a man, it's hard to say, you know what, I don't have this other appetite or to grow and so on. That's part of it. Now, before you go dismissing even our desires, the way that we're created, then you have to be keenly aware that many of the things that we do as men in the world is for the admiration, the adoration of women, to make sure we're providing that security, make sure that we are growing our families and building and focusing on legacy. And a lot of that is driven by that desire. So don't dismiss the desire. Matter of fact, look up sexual transmutation. Go to the book, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. Look at the chapter on sexual transmutation, because when you see that chapter, you see that when we can channel this energy, that we have this desire for women into other productive things, stuff happens. Buildings get made. Cities are grown. All right, there's conquest, there's expansion. All right, that leaves legacy. So the more you dismiss us because you aren't built like us, the more you're widening that gap. Because the smart woman is going to be feminine. She's going to be available for her husband. She's going to want to look good because she understands keenly that a man is seduced by his eyes while women are traditionally seduced by their ears. So I wanted to just break that down because there's some key things, key differences between us. And it's okay, we're different, but we're built for each other. So if you want to understand your man more, speak in the language that he understands. You want to understand your woman more and do better? Speak in the language that she understands. But understand, neither of us can be everything for each other. So we should be striving to be the best that we can be for each other. But also understand our own shortcomings, because sis, you ain't everything to him and he not everything to you. So when it comes to polygyny, respect those differences. respect them. And bruh, strive to be able to practice it in a healthy manner where you're fulfilling most of these things and have the ability and capability to do it for multiple women, even if you choose not to, for what it will make of you. So let me know what you think about what I'm talking about in the comments. Let me know. You agree? You disagree? All right, let me know at least that you made it through the entire video by saying, because what it will make of you. Because what it will make of you. Post that below. Let me know you watched the entire thing. All right, you agree, you disagree? I want to hear it. Let me know. Matter of fact, join our community where we go into uncensored discussions and reviews and everything else. You'll see the link below in the description as well. So with that, I'm Coach Nazir, the coach that helps people get their shift together. Assalamu alaikum. Peace. Here are 3 ways outstanding personal relationships can help you.
Make sure you guys are following us on our social medias at Outstanding Personal Relationships on YouTube and Facebook, and on IG at Outstanding Relationships.
And make sure you sign up for our email list, and you can actually email us at support@Outstanding Personal Relationships, where you will get updates on our new book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored, as well as exclusive access to our lives and bonuses.
Absolutely. If you're looking for more polygyny education, make sure you visit polygamymasterclass.com. Now, if you're looking for coaching or counseling with either Coach Fatimah or Coach Nyla, you can find them at.
Make sure you visit me at CoachFatimah.com.
And myself at CoachNyla.com.
That's how we can help you. Assalamu alaikum.
Peace.